You don't say they kill our government. And that's why I said, you want to see what I can do, give me the chance. And that's why I'm telling you. Thank you. And as ever, the former Vice President and the federal US, I want to say thank you. We'll move which will be done by the superstar, Mr. James Kabakule. John to the prayer promise. To speak, we'll go back to the next one. Yes, so hold on before the next. Can we just back up a little bit? Is there here? Can we please be seated? Please be seated. Can we please be seated? Ladies and gentlemen, may we have our seats now so we complete the program. The former Vice President will now be like this. So please, one second. So please have your seat. Let's complete this program and we leave. Before I turn the mic over to you, I want to say to the former Vice President, thank you very much for your passion for the country. He has demonstrated today with no doubt. Those who came doubting have seen and now they know. He has proven that he's physically fit. He is ready to be president on day one. He can stand up and answer a question. He has answered questions more than any other politician I've seen in recent days. He has crossed the T's. He has brought it out. And on the basis of that, take away and say, I want to say, thank you so much for the question. Go ahead, bye-bye. We are asking again to please sit down with the sister. She has the most important part of the program. She has an announcement for all of us. Please have your seats. Excuse me, Benjamin. Ladies, please have your seat down. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for watching. We're live here with Mr. Moses Senate, a renowned journalist from the Republic of Liberia, and he's one of the panelists on the issue room. And yes. I have Moses Senate. Moses Senate, what's your take on the whole entire program?
First, let me say it's a pleasure being on your television this evening. I'm highly impressed with the turnout. It was indeed a good deliberation. A lot of important questions were asked. The Vice President responded effectively to some of those questions. Take, for example, his stance on corruption. He promised that if given the opportunity, first thing his administration would do is to institute an audit of the current administration. Within the first 100 days, he said they're going to be tougher laws in dealing with criminals, in dealing with individuals who are literally looting the resources of Liberia. I think that's commendable. He promised that his administration will set up a government that is inclusive. There will be cabinet ministers from out of the 15 counties of Liberia. He promised to do that. He also promised that on a consistent basis, as a president, he will speak to Liberians. He will speak to his people regularly. So, and that is why it's lacking to this Liberia, where all these national crises, we have a president that really, speaks to Liberians about any national issue. So, as a leader, you have to speak to your people in times of peace. You speak to your people in times of challenges. So, he promised to do that. There were other concerns about his role in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, and I think he also articulated that. One thing that I was impressed with the performance of the president, the former vice president, is that his endurance. He stood up for almost 2 hours, responding to questions, articulating his view, and there have been this report about he being not too healthy, but I think he demonstrated the other ways today. So in summary, I would say there was a good gathering. It was a good gathering.
Oh, that's good. That's very good, Mr. Sini. Another thing I want to ask you, okay?
Yes.
You talk about this CPP stuff. CPP, there's conflict in the CPP and Mr. Zana Cummings and the UAs, the Liberty Party, and all that. Now, what's your take on the way he answered the question?
Well, I think he was being honest. First, I like the comment he made that here there are people who believe that Alexander, there was a question about whether Mr. Cummings is a criminal or not. And he clearly stated that in the absence of a probe, no one can call another president, a criminal. So I think that's good for the supporters. And all these, negative comments about the various CPP, political leaders. You have people from the ANC that are fond of denigrating, Mr. Walker, people denigrating Mr. Cummings, and he says that is just not the right thing to do. So I think he believes in the CPP, and he believes that he will be able to resolve the crisis. And so let's see what happens in the next few months from now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sini.
Thanks, Mr.
We're going to see if we can invite you on the audio line.
Sure.
And we can go in a further discussion with
Definitely.
you. Always happy to come. Okay, we have one strong member of the Party who just arrived. They're called Terrence.
I'm Terry Genesis.
Terry Genesis. He's one of the strong members of the Party, and he's standing right next to me. What do you think about the program today?
Well, firstly, I would like to say that the turnout for the program was very much impressive, and I was very much impressed over the response and the performance of the former vice president, the endurance, the stamina, his wisdom, in answering questions. Even people from the other end, from the ANC and the CDC, they came here to just pose their own concern and a question, and he answered. His responses to these questions were very much impressive, and so I would just like to thank the former vice president, and we want to call on every Liberian to give him the opportunity, to salvage our country, to rescue Liberia. Liberia is in a very big trouble, One thing that Kofi Wu said, you cannot give men's job to boys. You cannot give men job to boys. And we want men jobs to be given to men. And the former vice president is experienced, he's very eloquent, and he's well connected. He will be able to restore Liberia. he will be able to salvage Liberia from the problems. So I'm very much happy today that everybody came out, to grace the occasion. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we have one of the moderators for the program today. She's standing right next to me. Stand right there. Hold on. Standing right next to me. You can see her. I'm gonna have her. And we want to say thank you for watching. And this is the lady who was moderating the program today. So, what's your tip today on the program? You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. My name is Miape Kono or Miape Kono. My take on the program is it was an enlightening moment, a moment for the people to see a candidate through the lenses that they needed to see him through, an opportunity afforded him to tell them who he is, to take them down his own experience, the lane of his experience. And it's good that we have people like you from the 4th Estate who can cover, who can provide large coverage for people who are not in the hall tonight. So people were able to ask questions. People were able to see how passionate he is about this. So it was very good.
Yeah, and what you would say about the turnout?
Given how busy people are in this country, the turnout was, I would consider this a massive turnout. And I know the turnout is not just limited to cyber-wise, those watching on the internet, the turnout was in the thousands. And I think people got to hear JNB, listen to him, listen to his vision for Liberia, get an understanding of the dichotomy of a president versus a vice president. He once was a vice president. And, not in the seat to do everything, but to assist the president. Now he's asking for an opportunity to be in that seat where he can, further his own policies. And I think that was good.
Let me say it. What would you say to the full collaborating political party? Everybody, the vice president just say, you guys are one, you're going to stick together. What message will you send to them?
I'm very familiar with the opposition bloc. Most of the political institutions, also founding member of the ANC. And it's a good thing to see the political institutions come together. Matter of fact, I was their first Secretary General. It will be a good thing to see the opposition bloc stand together, because it is in unity that will move our country forward, not just to win an election, because the country is already deeply divided. So I do not only see it as a means to win the incumbent George Weah, but it's also a means to move our country forward. So it is a good thing to come together. But at the end of the day, we don't know if we can control the variables. It would be good, but if no matter what the variables are, we are telling people when that time comes for critical decision making, think in the interest of your country, like he said, to build Liberia, to think about the betterment of Liberia, and let's forget about our personal connections and what we stand to gain personally, and think about our country, posterity. The children are in school, they're in their hospitals. We want our people to focus on the bigger picture.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Pleasure was mine.
Okay, so that was the lady that was. I got somebody from the ANC. Come on, yeah. Excuse me, sir. Can I have you a few minutes? I got somebody from the ANC who is here. He did ask a question over there, and we just want to find out if his question was answered to his satisfaction. So, Mr. Moni Kishenko, aka what? The general, right? AKA the general, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, anyway, I'm doing both. So I'm behind the camera, I sit down in front of the camera. The vice president did answer your question. Was it satisfactory to you?
Well, it was not a bad answer. It was not a bad answer. I only wanted him to put himself on record whether he support what they say. Because I've heard Henry Costa and George Lobo so many times calling Mr. Cummings criminal. But the VP knows Mr. Cummings very well. So I wanted him to put himself on record, and he said it. No, he against it. You cannot call no one criminal. You know what I'm saying? But he answered the question. When you come to town hall meetings and you ask questions, it's not a dialogue. So I could have come back and asked him that what I wanted to say. No, Mr. Cummings is not a criminal. criminal.
Yeah, but you know the questions were limited and all
Yes,
of
the
that.
question was limited, and there were so many questions. But you know, I'm a little surprised at we Liberians. We are all members of the CPP, and I can promise you, I can bring Mr. Cummings here today, and I can have seditions, all other people, other party members can ask Mr. Cummings a question, and he will.
But everybody was given a chance tonight to ask questions.
I asked a question today, and after I asked a question, I was attacked by fans of Henry Costa because I mentioned his name.
Okay.
And some of them even went personal with me. What I'm doing here, I came to spy, I came to do. You know, it's so shameful. It's so shameful. We are all members of the CPP. And I made it clear, I'm a member of the CPP, I'm proud supporter of Mr. Cummings any day, anytime. Yeah. Yes, I supported Henry Costa on some of his things that he do. Yeah. I've made contributions so many times to Henry Costa. Yeah. But when it comes to politics, we are not on the same line because he's supporting another person, I'm supporting another person. Yeah. But what we want there is that we should stop the profanity. Yeah. We should stop the insults. Because tomorrow, if I stand on my platform and insult Mr. Bwaka, and he's the nominee, how will I face in the people? That is a problem. If Mr. Cummings win tomorrow, deep down in my mind, I know that they will not support Mr. Cummings.
Yeah, but folks saw you so many. Folks saw you on the internet. Also going back as Henry Costa.
Yes,
and a couple of other folks from the Unity Party, the ALP, and all of that. So if you guys going back and forth, how you think the other people are going to feel?
Yes, I use Henry Costa words against Henry Costa. Okay. I don't insult him. I only pick from what he said and try to correct him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he should listen to my advice. But you see, when you're in politics, if you say you have an ambition, I don't have ambition. I'm not running for no office. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not right now. I'm not representing CPP, but yes, my face is out there. Yeah. I'm a proud supporter of Mr. Cummings any day, anytime, and I believe that Mr. Cummings has the vision, the know-how to lead that country.
Let me ask you one question. The folks from the ANC and other political, all of the other parties are very, very concerned about Bwaka health. What will you say about health today?
Listen, I'm not here to tell you about Mr. Bwaka health.
Okay.
Whether we all know, even the guys on young guys with pacemaker, we know that. Okay. Pacemaker can carry you 20 years, it can carry you 5 years, it can carry you 2 years. Mm-hmm. But what some people don't know, and someone over there said that is one of the things that Mr. Cummings changed, that because of good health. Who determine good health? The people that determine good health are medical doctors. It's almost to your job. When your job says we want you to bring your medical report, you go to the hospital. When they do your test and the doctor say you clear, who am I to say no? It makes no sense for Mr. Cummings to look at Mr. Bwaka and say, oh, well, he's not healthy. It ain't gonna make no sense.
That's one thing that
no sense.
That was one thing that I didn't hear none of the in the audience people asking questions today. They talk about utterance on the document. Nobody asked that question. What actually was altered on the document? Yes. Were you disappointed?
Now, you see, I was disappointed because the questions that was asked there is like you have so many people, like majority of people were UP. Yeah. But you see, let me tell you today.
You have other parties in here too. You have the ANC. You have people who are independent.
Some people are independent. Yeah. Like my brother asked a question, and what his name? Anthony Gray. Yeah. He said, "What Henry Costa is doing up there?" You know what I'm saying? Okay. I think he's the only ANC. I don't know if any other ANC.
They had a lot of ANC people folks here today. The whole hall was mixed.
The whole was mixed. But listen, now they had the opportunity to ask Mr. Bwaka. Mm-hmm. You know, because they said one question. Mm-hmm. So I chose the one that is necessary. Okay. My second question was, Mr. Bwaka, you're official or leader of a political party. Yeah. Do you think, or what Mr. Cummings actually authored in this document that would benefit him? But some of the members said one of the things that Mr. Cummings authored was to add good health. That means so he will attack Mr. Bwaka on good health. One of the things Mr. Cummings added that when you go to the convention, you cannot leave. How can Mr. Cummings be the one to add it?
Talk about that on the issue room that you can leave.
So you can. So you see, these are some of the things. But for them, they should have asked questions. But listen, when you go in a gathering where you get 90%, ANC could have done the same thing. Yeah. ANC could have, I want to be ANC members could come in and try to ask Mr. Cummings. But one thing I tell you, we try not to shy Mr. Cummings away from people who don't like him. You know what I'm saying? That's the question. They say, what I'm doing here? You came to speak.
Well, one thing you got to understand, these people are going with time. They got a protocol set. Of course, they're giving everybody an opportunity. So, there was folks that really wanted to ask the question, but they can't answer everybody.
This is not a UP a lone event.
Of course.
This
is for the community.
Might be he might be the next president of Liberia.
Okay.
So Liberians got to ask the question. Okay. We're not going to be the same. We're not be on the same level, no matter what. We all cannot support. That's the beauty of democracy. Yeah. I've decided to support Mr. Cummings, and it shouldn't bother you. Yeah. When you want to support Mr. Boaka, it shouldn't bother me. Yeah. But what we're looking at is Liberia, and we say we're in a collaboration. So if you're trying to insult one person, how will I support you, or how will you support me when I want to damage you?
Well,
what I want to say to everybody here, that we should be civil to each other.
Yes.
We should do what is right.
And the vice president just said something. He said, "Think Liberia, build Liberia, and love Liberia." Yeah,
that's his right. Yeah. And if you ask me today, I will tell you plain blank, Mr. Cummings and Mr. Boaka should have a debate. Let Liberian people answer that.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough time, and we gotta leave. So to all the folks out there, I want to say thank you for watching. This is a Liberian Radio and Television Network. We're live. We're not for profit. We don't belong to no political party. And we come here just to make sure you sit in your living room and watch and see everything that's going on. I want to say thank you for watching. Follow us. Donate to the network. We don't want plenty of money. We're just looking for $1. Donate $1, and we'll keep you informed with every necessary things that you need in the community. We want to say thank you for watching. Keep following us, and we will bring you as much info and information that we can bring. Thank you very much.
I said, Paul, no, insulting me over there.